Welcome back to the Spirit Tournament round of 16. We're going to be watching Zpux. He's going to be going up against Handy here. And this, in my opinion, is one of the harder matches to predict in the round of 16. I mean, Handy, he's shown some really good skill, especially against Push the Pro Gamer, taking him out in a TVP on Othello. But, Zpux, he is nothing to scoff at. He is one of the best players from Sweden, and he always seems to put up, around TSL time, around Spirit time, everywhere like that. He's a very good Protoss player. So, I have no idea who's going to win this game, and I'm pretty excited to watch it, just such good players. So we're going to be watching them here. The map is Bluestorm. We have Zpux starting with Protoss in the top right. Handy's going to be in the bottom left with Terran. And this is a very important match. It's not the winner of Spirit who gets to go to Korea. It's whoever they think from the tournament, whatever players have good potential that they're interested in will end up coming over. So it's very good to do well in the tournament, but theoretically you could lose in the round of 16, in the round of 8, in the round of 4, in the round of 2, wherever, and still get chosen. But I mean, there's got to be some sort of cutoff line. If you lose in the round of 16, it's going to be very hard to justify choosing you over, someone who makes it the top 2 or whatever. So a very important match. Both these players do want to go to Korea. There's basically almost everyone in the tournament wants to go to Korea. Aru, of course, being the only person who does not, and he actually already lost to who did Aru lose to? Horror, I believe it was. So Horror is going to go on, Aru is not, and that leaves everyone left in the tournament wants to go to Korea. So look at this. We've got an offensive gas by Zpux. Very fast offensive gas by him. We have one gateway going up. And it'll be interesting to see if he, chooses to make Zealots against a wall-in. I hope not. Or maybe get his gas. We notice he's not getting his gas yet, and Handy might even gas him. There you go. I like that play. That is a very nice play by Handy. If you get gas, just scout Protoss right away, gas them right back, and they're going to have to go Zealots, and they might even have to get a Forge and Cannons, if you show them some Marine Medic or something like that, if they don't have those gas tech units out, that can just roll them over. So really, that's a very smart move, very good. Gives Handy a lot more flexibility in what he can do. It's going to be hard for Protoss to pressure him more. It's going to be easier for him to pressure against no gas units. So I like that move by Handy, and he gets out of there with a refinery almost all the way done. That is one nice thing about Terran offensive gas. If you can get it all the way up to this health, you can just cancel it at your will, and you only lose 25 minerals. So very nice move there by Handy. And by the money we see Zpux saving up, I think we're going to see a Nexus here pretty quickly. And there we go. It is a Nexus, so he's going to be doing just the one gate expand off a Zealot. Now, there are ways to absolutely destroy this as Terran. I'm not sure if Handy realizes this, but if you just keep on top of watching for cannons and you go 2 racks and just go right into Marine Medic, you can just roll Protoss over when they go for the one gateway, no gas expand. You get the Marines, you get the medics, you just basically 1A, 2A, GG. They cannot stop that with the medics. Zealots are so bad against micro Marine Medic. But we see Handy, he is not going for that build. I guess he just isn't that aware of it. This is a kind of uncommon build by Protoss. You have to play against it a lot to figure that out, that you can just roll it over with the Marine Medic, because you never really see that from the pros. And Handy is just going to take a very fast command center of his own. Not a bad move either. It's the Marine Medic, it can be a little bit stressful. If they make a Forge and Cannons, you got to get in there with your SCVs, with the Marines, oftentimes before the medics come out. So, it can be a little bit stressful if you don't scout correctly. And Handy just going for a much safer build here. And just the very fast factory with the command center, it's looking quite good, actually. We see Zpux, he's just getting his first Dragoon now. Not sure what he's going to do with this probe, maybe just scouting around. He's looking for proxy facts and whatnot. He does not want to be cheesed by Handy. Little does he know, Handy is playing extremely straight up right now. And I do like Handy's play. I would have opted for the Marine Medic, just kill him, punish him so hard for going for the super fast expand, but to each his own, and Handy's style definitely valid here. It's going to be interesting, though, to see, is Zpux going to go extremely aggressive on him? A lot of units, maybe, because of this fast expansion, quick Reaver, DTs, or is he going to go for, the more economical build of taking another expansion? And, that all comes down to play style and preference and all that good stuff. And how will Handy deal with that? I expect that, we do see double out, and definitely we're going to see some vultures coming out of here reasonably quick. And, the vulture is just such a smart move on a map like this and Academy. I do like Handy's play right now. Going to get that first tank. That is nice and safe. And there we go. Spider Mine's being upgraded. And that's just, a very, very safe move. And look at this. We have a factory being proxied at 12, but there's a pylon in the choke. I'm not sure what's going on. I kind of missed that. I don't think Zpux realizes at all that this factory is being made, and this is going to screw him. I mean, when this gets floated in there, it is too bad. If Zpux had just made a pylon over here, he'd be totally fine right now. But with this being landed, and we have mines being made, I don't know. This looks to me like Handy could end this game extremely fast. You make a few vultures, lace mines, but look at this. Maybe Zpux did see it. Yes, indeed. His probe goes right over, finds it immediately, builds a pylon right there, and he wants a pylon prison for this factory, and Handy says, you know what, never mind. I'm getting out of here with this factory. It is a valuable building. It costs a lot of money to make that. And rightfully so, he runs away. Very smart move there. And Zpux canceling all 3 pylons just to rebuild one. Kind of cute right there. A little bit of a mistake. Not a big deal, though. And Handy, in the meantime, he's going to be getting up his comm stats. And, he hasn't done a lot of scouting yet. It's hard to tell what Zpux could have. And it's a little bit risky. There's no turrets yet. And he has an extremely fast expansion. A lot of minerals building up, as you can see. And it would have been pretty smart, really, to get an eBay up. You've got to get a couple turrets up. He hasn't really had vision of the Protoss base. If Zpux had just gone straight to Dark Templar after that quick expand, which, that's definitely pretty common. If he had gone straight to that, Handy would be in a world of pain. We don't see any spider mines laid anywhere around the map. And just the comm sets have just finished up, and he's used them both already for scouting. So, he's a little bit lucky with the build order that Zpux chose here, because definitely it could have gone the other way altogether. Just streaming DTs in without your mines already in place, without any eBay made, and the scanners being as late as they were. That could have been quite dangerous for Handy, but what he has done has paid off. It looks like he's going to get into a nice position already. Now, is he going to go down here and try to tank the expansion, or is he just going to take the high ground? The high ground, definitely the better choice right now. Zpux is going to have a ton of units. His expansion was faster. If he gets speed zealots and you're taking this low ground, or even if you just want mass dragoon and you're taking this low ground, it's not going to go well for you. He's just going to bash right in, especially against so few tanks. Just 3 tanks right now and a handful of vultures. So, just taking that middle would be a nice move. And we see Handy realizes this. He's going to go ahead and take the middle, build some turrets, siege your tanks a little bit further back. You just make it really hard for Protoss to attack up the hill. And already, Handy is just dividing up the map, which is a very nice move for Terran, and taking that third base. Very nice play there. You just got to be careful. This is a timing where if Zpux had gone for speed with all these gateways, 5 gates right now, he could add another 6 or a 7th gate. If he had gone speed, he'd run right through this, and the game's basically going to be over. It's going to be too hard for Handy to reinforce his tanks to defend this low ground expansion and everything off of just 2 factory. So, those comm stats really making a difference right now. And it looks like we're going to have an extremely late game Bulldog here. We see 4 Zealots in that shuttle, a bunch of Dragoons, and Zpux is going to try to walk right up this side. Very nice move right here. Oh no! That was an insane spider mine right there. He lost a lot of hit points on those goons, and now everything just getting splattered. The goons being flanked by siege tanks. Yuck, he loses a ton of units there, but takes out all these high ground tanks. Still, that was very good for Handy. He has to feel very good about that trade. He traded a handful of vultures and about 4 siege tanks or 5 siege tanks for basically all of the units of Zpux. So Zpux in a very hard position right now. Oh, that is painful to see. And his third base is going to be slower than Handy's third base. So Handy in a very good position. That little attack just did not pay off for Zpux there. A little bit too aggressive against Handy. And Handy was just repositioned his units beautifully. Paid off. Just, I can't even explain how hurt Zpux is from that. Handy is in such a good position here. And Zpux, what are you going to do to get back into this? Let's see. He's getting that Citadel. He's getting that third base right down here. But he just has no units right now. He's at 85 supply, Handy at 80. and Handy with that third command center up and mining already, and Zpux is just finishing. Now Handy, all he's going to want to do, just reinforce the center of the map, make factories. But Handy is taking another base that's very interesting, for a very solid win. You would likely want to just, make more units, because what is the Protoss going to do? The Protoss has to know, I'm behind right now. How do I come back from this? And oftentimes the Protoss is just going to make a ton of units, a ton of Zealots, just macro up for a minute and try to bust your center, maybe get up to where your rally points are up here, and make you stay on this low ground and get map control back. But Handy, he is not going for any of that. He is suiciding these vultures into the probes. That move is really poor, I have to tell you. Suiciding vultures right now. He's only on 3 facts. Yes, he's adding more, but he's taking another expansion. Protoss has to be getting ready to do some sort of move to come back, and sacrificing those vultures is not the best move. It would be a much safer move in this position that is ahead of Zpux. Keep those vultures over on your side of the map. Scout a little bit, sure. Laying these mines was a good move. But do not just throw them away for probes right now. You're already ahead economically. You do not want to be wasting units like that. If Zpux had gone for a heavy unit assault, he'd have, maybe 12 more Zealots right now. And that would be able to bust this center up pretty easily without those, 5 or 6 vultures that we just saw Handy throw away. So, some risky plays right now for Handy, but it is paying off because Zpux is playing the more laid-back route. We see he's making another pylon wall, so he's going to be going for another expansion. Excuse me. And so it's working out. Every move that Handy is doing is countering what Zpux is doing, but theoretically, it's not necessarily the best moves for him right now. And we see a nice little Reaver drop right now by Zpux. He's going to have to be doing this stuff all game long to try to catch back up, 4th base already up for Handy over here. And it looks like this Goliath, just perfect timing, really destroying this harass of Zpux. And that shuttle is just about dead. The Reaver not doing as much damage as he would have wanted. And Handy is just getting in more and more dominating position. But, his macro is a little bit off. We've noticed this in the past games against Push and whatnot, that he misses depots sometimes. His factory amount isn't always up to where it should be. But, he's doing well. He has the middle turtled quite well at this point. Good number of siege tanks, a nice number of mines. Not a whole lot of vultures over there, but they are on the ramp to get there very quickly if Zpux chooses to attack. So, strategically, he's doing fine. In theory and everything, he's safe. He's winning, definitely. His money is going up, so it's not the best macro you've ever seen, but it's good play overall, and he is definitely getting ahead of Zpux. And Zpux now, going into macro mode, we see he's going to start Arbiters, adding a ton of gateways all at once here. But Handy looks like he might be getting ready to push a little bit here. And Zpux is so low on units. He's at 142, Handy at 129. But Handy's position here with his 1-1 upgrades is just superb. He's going to be able to bust up this expansion very easily. Zpux is not going to be able to do anything about it. Zpux is going to want to max out before moving. Just sacrifice this expansion for now. Get it back up after you bust the middle. If you bust the middle, that is. But smart move by Zpux. A lot of Protoss players are going to get really nervous right now, say, oh crap, I'm going to lose that base, and just rush in. But right now the positioning is just so good despite Handy's lower supply, and Zpux being smart. He's waiting, he's going to get those extra units, and that is just critical. Getting the second Stargate up to go with his extra gases now. Well, he hasn't started the gas yet, and not here either, but he will have a bunch more gases going, so the more Arbiters the better, I guess. But being an Arbiter user, as opposed to a carrier user on this map, makes it really hard for Zpux, because this is definitely a carrier map. We see how Handy has just divided the map. Excuse me, and that makes it very hard for a ground-based army to do anything on this map. So really, he's going to want to do recalls in the base of Handy here. And we see there's only 1 turret, which of course wouldn't stop a red Arbiter even. The Arbiter's so ridiculous, we all know. And Handy's going to want to turret up everything. And if he can get, BGH it up. Really, every edge of the map that touches his side of the map should be full of turrets. Lay a ton of mines behind. Throw some Goliaths in even. As long as you can turtle your bases so that you cannot have Arbiters flying through to recall you, You basically can't lose this map, half map versus half map, Terran versus Protoss, to anything but carrier. So, you know, if Handy does that, things are going to look even worse for Zpux. I mean, yeah, they look bad already, but it will get a lot worse because Arbiter Tech, it's hard to kill Terran with Arbiter Tech on this map is basically what I'm trying to get across here. But we see Zpux, he's almost maxed out here. Very Zealot heavy army. Decent number of Dragoons, but definitely very, very Zealot heavy. He's making more and more Zealots. Looks like he might be waiting for his 1-1 to finish. Not a bad idea. They're almost done right now. Definitely doesn't want to be so far behind in upgrades. We see Handy does have his 1-1 with 2-2. A good way so far of 2-2. And, oh, Handy making some Goliaths at this 12. I really like that move, using that proxy factory this late in the game to, you know, get some extra defense, but he might be rallying down. And here we go! Zpux attacking in with a ton of Zealots here. And will he be able to bust this up? I'm not sure. Very clumped on the Zealots. The tank splash is ripping them apart with some extra Vulture hits in there. And he is not going to be able to quite break it, I don't think. He's going to want to pull back pretty quickly here after clearing those tanks on the low ground. And there are not a lot of units left for Handy up here. But Zpux very low on supply now. He's down to 155, 123 for Handy. And Zpux, he's going to want to re-macro extremely fast. He should have just gone back to his gates during the battle. It looks like he did. Just make more and more units and bust that up again before Handy can reinforce. We see Handy's macro is not quite up to par. He's only got 5 factories right now. Is that right? No, there we go. He's adding 4 more. Very nice. Very good move. That's definitely something he needs to do because he is so far behind on production. He really is relying upon this high ground, upon the minefields to keep Zpux at bay. I mean, Zpux's macro right now far bigger than Handy's, but just that positioning, you know, it's keeping poor Zpux from doing anything. And here we go. Zpux is almost remaxed, and that's really good. You know, adding those gateways. If you're going for the ground army, you need a lot of gateways. You need to remax very quickly and bust up that center. And we see that Zpux, he does have that 1-1. He's getting that 2-2. It's on its way. And, ooh, Handy's 2-2 already finished. And I tell you what, when you're Terran and you get 2-2, it feels so good. And look at this. We have a recall in the main of Handy. And this is a beautiful recall. That one turret didn't do anything. Really, you need so many turrets. And he's going to be killing some factories. Oh, my God. Zpux looks like he's absolutely coming back in this game. He's in a very good position right now. He's hurting the production. He's slowing Handy way down. Handy has to walk all the way down here to fight against these very annoying units. Oh, a nice EMP there by Handy. And those Arbiters are going to want to get out of there ASAPly and just leave these units to fight. These units do not matter. Zpux is going to remax almost instantly off of all those gateways that he has. But the 2-2 of Handy really helping him out here, just cleaning up these units without any trouble, despite their 1-1 grades. And who knows where those units were going. But it's attack move time for Handy here. Going right through the mines with his Zealots. Oh, the mines absolutely devastate the Zealots. And he has just no observers with him. Or they hit the turrets. I'm not too sure. But he is trying to break through here. Breaks through the right side. But he is going to want to pull back before he loses everything. But he is going to sacrifice all his units as Handy rolls out with these 2-2 Vultures. 2-2 Vultures extremely good against Dragoons. And Handy is still in a good position. But Zpux definitely fighting back quite well. And it looks like his macro has just fallen off for a second here. He's only got 150. He's got a lot of money, a lot of units queued in the gateways. He's got to add some more gateways or maybe get some more Stargates, something like that. He has to get something else going a little bit quicker. Another recall in the base of Handy here. Beautiful recall. This is extremely annoying to a Terran player, but he is dealing with it well. He is sieging slowly, moving up, you know, sacrifice some of your buildings, but you can't lose all your units because he's hurting your production. And, oh, there's no scans going on right now. So, really, Zpux in a good position, but Handy counterattacking. This is very dangerous against Arbiters, and there are a lot of Arbiters here. Look at this. Zpux is just playing extremely well right now. These Arbiters could definitely end up winning in the game if he starts getting some stasis off, but it looks like he doesn't have enough mana on any of them right now. One goes down, and Handy just has perfect timing right here, despite this very good harass in the base of Handy. You know, his 2-2 and getting in there right before all these Arbiters have enough to stasis is really putting Zpux up against the wall here. And you know what? These factories over on the side are helping out immensely as well. You know, his main production has been hurt quite a bit, but he's got those extra factories over there that are really helping him out. And, oh, finally, Zpux is cleaning this stuff up. But this Science Vessel is really annoying him. finally almost has 100 on this Arbiter. There we go. He has 100 now. He can finally freeze some units. But, oh, poor Zpux here. He just cannot get his units together. If he could just pool units for a minute, he might have a chance here. But Handy is just on top of it, attacking. And Zpux, he is getting very low on supply, only 100. Handy still up at 150, but he has 5k, 2k. His macro really falling down, really relying upon the map and his strategy with upgrades to carry him through this game. And, you know, it's working out for him, really. He's pushing Handy up, Zpux rather, up against the wall. And what can Zpux do here? He's really got to remass his units. He's got to, you know, get that critical amount that's going to be able to break up Handy's army here. And does he have 2-2? Zpux does have 2-2, so he's keeping up pretty well on the upgrades. No 3-3 being researched for Handy here. So he's going to be sitting on 2-2. So finally, Zpux is caught up that way. Only 130 supply, though, in Handy. He's just going to max out very easily here. He's got so much money. I mean, Terran with this many bases and 2-2 is just about unkillable. And, I mean, those recalls were a very good try. But I am not sure that Handy can really lose the game at this point. You know, all he needs to do is just keep adding factories. And we see he is doing that. There's another factory going up, another one here. He's built another here. But, I mean, he should be filling everywhere with factories. Every inch of the map. Just make units and attack move them. You know, you could go basically pure Goliath with this economy. Look at this. He's got 6k, 1k. And poor Zpux, he is spending every last time 200 minerals here. Only 150 supply. Oh, and now the last bases of Zpux are being attacked as well. He is going to lose every probe, all of his economy. And Handy, I mean, I got to hand it to him. I got to hand it to him. I mean, he has played very well this game. He has taken Zpux out, it looks like. Although Zpux doing a nice little rally here, finally breaking through those units, but I don't think it'll be enough here. And Zpux realizes no mining bases left. He has got to give up. And Handy takes the game down. So nice play by Handy. He goes up 1-0, and Zpux is going to have to really fight back in the next game. GG.